Hey guys, Brian Robinson here from Stop at Goaltending. Today we're going to go over positioning as it relates to the goalie and when the net changes size, or basically as the puck is carried down the wall and the net goes from 4x6, and that 6 feet of width gets smaller and smaller the more the puck is carried down closer to the goal line. So guys, to start things off, we need to talk about the fundamental starting position. Most NHL rinks that we're playing in these days are 200 feet long. When the puck is 200 feet away, we want to be right here on the goal line, back against the crossbar, middle of the net. That way we know exactly where our net is. If we see the goalie come out a little bit further, top of the crease, maybe even a little bit further. This is one of my pet peeves. I work in a hockey rink that has 8 full sheets. I see a ton of games at a ton of different levels of hockey. This is the number one thing in my opinion. If the puck is not in your zone all the way down the other end or even past your red line in the neutral zone, it's gonna cause you to get lost, lose your angle, lose your net, and lose your positioning. This is why I highly suggest when the puck's not in your zone, we're back up against the crossbar, middle of our net. So when we see the play about to enter our zone, we tap our post, we come out and address the play. Now we know exactly where the middle of the net was. Do me a favor, back up. Now that show me a zone entry coming from the wing. Players coming down the wall, tap our post, we come out. Restart for me. Other side, other wing. We see a player enter the zone, we come out, tap the post, and address the play. The tapping of the post is not necessary. It's something I always did as a kid. It's something that I see a lot of NHL goalies do and a lot of goalies do at high levels. Again, it's just that extra reassurance. I know exactly where my net is. I tap my post. I come out and address the play. So guys, next thing we need to talk about is when to come out and address the play. When do we want to come out to challenge the shooter? Well, obviously it depends on the play. Everything you do as a goaltender is a read. So it's up to you guys to make sure you're reading the play and then adjusting accordingly. Typically for me, when we were taught as kids, was be out and be ready when the puck is at the red line. Nowadays, we know if you come out when the puck is at the red line, there is a ton that can happen between the red line and your blue line. So what we preach now these days is a thing we call smart depth, or basically just waiting longer before you come out and address the play. If you guys watch goalies at the highest levels, we're seeing goalies wait longer and longer and longer, sometimes until the puck's a stick length or two in the zone, depending on the situation they're facing, and that is gonna help you guys be in position easier and not end up behind the play. One of my biggest pet peeves, again, is we see a goalie, puck's at the red line, come out, go ahead, puck's at the red line, we're out, and then as soon as they hit the red line, the puck gets passed rink wide, right? Or pretend that puck just rink wide. Now the player cut in, and now they hit the middle player. You guys are causing yourselves a lot of problems, a lot of extra work, and in my opinion, the more you move as a goaltender, the better chance it is you're gonna lose your angle, you're gonna lose your net, or you're gonna lose your positioning. So guys, next we're gonna talk about what happens to the net as the player carries the puck down the wall. So we're all aware, or if you're not already aware, the net is 4x6, 6 feet wide, 4 feet tall. As the puck gets carried down the wall, wide of the face-off circle, below the top of the circle, it gets to the hash marks, the bottom of the circle and the goal line, the net gets exponentially smaller. So again, from straight on at 6 feet, over from the half wall on the top of the circles, it's actually much smaller than 6 feet. And again, as we get all the way down towards the goal line, that net becomes almost non-existent. So basically what I call a bad angle shot would be somewhere between the bottom of the goal line and the bottom of the circle. From where we see the shooter over here, he's at the top of the circles. He's still got a good amount of net to shoot at, but it's not nearly as big if we were shooting from straight on. So what we need to understand, guys, is our depth should change. As the puck gets carried towards the bottom of the circle, you don't need to be fully square with your hips, especially if you're reading that there's a good chance for a pass to get to the middle. You flatten out your hips a little bit as a goaltender. That's going to help you guys get to the middle. The other thing you guys need to understand is the difference between what the shooter sees and what the puck sees. This is very important because we don't want to line up to the body of a shooter. The other thing we need to understand is that the shooter can almost be deceived. From where the shooter's standing right now, the far side of the net probably looks like the biggest part of the net. But if we put that camera down on the ice and see what the puck is seeing, you'll actually notice that by far, short side of the net is always the tallest part. Short side of the net is always 4 feet tall, and then depending on how low of an angle the puck is shot from, the far side of the net changes, but it is always smaller than the short side of the net.
So now we're going to take a couple different looks from what the puck sees and what the shooter sees using a left-handed shooter. Here we're seeing the shooter's eye view. Crossbar looks about parallel to the boards behind it, and then we get down towards the puck eye view with the goal in the net. You can noticeably tell that that short side looks a little bit bigger. And obviously, from the player's standpoint, the player is always going to see more than what the puck sees. So when we line up properly to the puck and not to the body of the shooter, that shooter should be fooled. They should be seeing a little bit more net to the far side, assuming the goalie's positioned properly. And then obviously when we get back down to what the puck sees, the puck shouldn't see much of anything, assuming that goalie is in proper position. So we see the goalie here make a little adjustment. They're on their angle. Good position to stop this puck. So we're looking at different points of views. We started at the top of the circles. Now we're down towards the hash mark on the outside towards the boards. And now we're getting towards the bottom of the circle. So the bottom of the circle, that's where post play can come into play. We see the goalie here standing on the post. Obviously, they'd have to react into more of a VH, RVH, some sort of post play. So we see the RVH here. Goalie's shoulders aren't fully square. There is a little bit of room to that far side. If he squares up those shoulders a little bit more, he's going to be able to take that space away. But all I'm trying to show you guys here is that the shooter sees a lot more than what the puck sees, assuming that goalie's in position. Here we see the goalie just leaning, reaching, simulating saves, showing how easy it is to just lean and reach into shots. And as we're going to talk about in a little bit, it's not necessary to slide into any of these shots. And now here, as we get to the bottom of the circle, you're seeing, again, less and less net to shoot at. That short side of the net always stays 4 feet tall. And again, as we progress from the top of the circles all the way down to the goal line, that far side gets smaller and smaller. So here we're seeing from the bottom of the circle, properly executed RVH, that goalie's able to cover almost every inch of the net. Again, key thing in here is making sure that the goalie is properly executing the save. Lastly, we're including a view from the goal line, which I wouldn't call a bad angle anymore. From the goal line below, we call that no angle or a dead angle, because there is no way the puck should go in the net unless the goalie does a poor job of sealing the post however they see fit, whether they're standing, RVH, VH, standing up with their two pads together like we see guys like Fleury, Craig Anderson do over the years. Again, you'll see if the goalie gets their head and shoulders too far outside the post, that does open up the ability and option for a shooter to bank the puck off the goaltender's head.
All right, guys, so now we're going to show you guys why positioning is so important. If you're a goalie and you're in good position for a shot, it's clear-sighted, no chance of a tip, not through traffic, you guys don't need to slide into shots. All sliding into shots is going to do is create more problems. It's going to cause you to lose your net. You're going to have too much momentum sliding out of position. If you give up a bad rebound, especially one back where you came from, you're going to have a hard time getting back there. So we're going to take a look at the goalie in net. We're going to watch him come out. He's going to address the puck. We have a puck in the dead center of the slot right at the top of the circles. Now we're going to take a look again at what the puck sees and what the shooter sees, and I'm going to have the goalie simulate different saves to show you guys that from his knees, he's able to lean and reach with his hands. As long as he reads, keeps his hands in front, has a nice forward tilt in his stance, he's going to be able to cover all portions of the net.
So again, guys, we have the goalie with the toes at the top of the crease. Good positioning, lined up to the puck or the blade of the stick. And we can see he's just a simple lean, reach, active hands, eyes on the puck, and he's going to be able to make most of these saves, assuming he can get a good read on that release. Again, we're going to see from the shooter's eye view, shooter's got more room on the glove side, which is where his body is. Left-handed shooter, he's going to see more net on that glove side compared to what the puck sees. Again, we're just showing you guys here, we don't need to slide into clear-sighted shots. It's just going to cause more trouble for you guys. Simple lean and reach is all you guys need with active hands. You'll be able to stop that puck. And another thing to point out, this goalie's about 5'10", 5'11". So obviously with positioning, good patience, and reading the release of a shot, we can play big and be bigger than our size.